All right. It looks like we're live. We're going to get started with the radio show in just a second. Steve, I have a new toy. Did you know I have a new toy?
I know.
Hold yourself still there. Don't move.
You called me Sphincter Boy before.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Wait, am I doing it wrong here? Hold on. Oh, I've got it on erase. That's why. All right, here we go. We got a new toy here. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Let's make this mustache look better. Father Kevin did that to me in high school, and I didn't have a beard then, and he used a real magic marker. And you know what I said? Wee. Oh, that
there we go. So we now have a telestrator. We have a telestrator. So I don't think that's going to come into play much in our radio show, but kind of a fun little tool that they've added in here.
Yeah.
We can do some neat things. So hope everybody's ready for a big show, because today the radio show about video on Facebook Live is about the new changes to YouTube. And if you haven't seen any of those changes yet, you might get a little excited by some of the things that we've got to talk about today, because they've got a couple of really neat things that they announced at VidCon, along with some other things that have actually been new as of a couple of weeks ago that we kind of touched on, and we'll touch on that again. So it's all going to be all about the new things at YouTube. So feel free to join along, comment as we go through this, and maybe we'll even respond to you at some point. Who knows?
That'd be cool.
Might be next week, but we might do that.
Yeah.
All right, Steve. So are you ready?
I am ready, Ray.
I said, are you ready?
Oh God, you're doing that. Okay.
Then for the dozens in attendance and the hundreds that may watch this over the next year, let's get ready to rumble with the new changes to YouTube. All right, here we go. Enough silliness.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, let me prep this up here in case I think I figured out how to keep my hard drives to not fall asleep, so that the music is always there. So cool. Hopefully that's the case. We'll find out in a second, I guess. So, maybe not, because now it's buffering it up here.
Uh-oh.
All right, we're ready to go. Are you ready? Here we go.
Okay. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to discuss all the new changes to YouTube. And today's episode is made possible by freevideoeditor.co. Are you looking to start being a video editor, but you don't want to spend those high prices on things like Adobe Premiere or Final Cut? Well, now you don't have to if you head on over to freevideoeditor.co. You can download the Shotcut Video Editor completely free, along with some of the goodies that we've created just for you. So head on over to freevideoeditor.co, download it right now, and remember, it's freevideoeditor.co. Leave off the last M for... There's no M words.
No,
oh, no.
Not yet.
We'll say movies.
Okay.
So, and by the way, if you hear that rumbling, I think they're demolishing the building. Can you see me shaking? I'm not touching anything. So
that was weird.
This is the No, I'm serious about them. They've got giant machinery right out the window here. So
it's not Paul Bunyan?
It's not Paul Bunyan or Bigfoot. But this is the construction edition of Video Marketing Madness, so let's play the music.
Okay, hit it, Ray.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise, has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
And it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the video guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper on the Show podcast network. Now, for those of you watching the Facebook Live, I can only do this one more time.
Oh, no. Do not do that ever again. For those of you that are listening, I won't even explain what it was.
Yeah, I dropped a tooth out of my mouth. Isn't that cool?
No, it's absolutely horrifying.
But 2 weeks from today, I get the permanent bridge at 8 in the morning.
Good. That's frightening. So, anyway, we got a radio show to do here. So, Steve, tell them where they can find us.
Well, you can find us on Earn.show. You can find us on iTunes and Podcast Republic and Stitcher and Google Play and Tuned In and YouTube. We got a YouTube channel.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we
do. We get thousands of views.
Thousands, and that's every minute, by the way.
Yeah.
Every minute.
And I never lie.
And speaking of YouTube, today we're going to talk about a lot of the changes going on at YouTube. And by association, we're going to talk a little bit about changes at Google, which are really exciting, especially for those of you that are doing marketing with YouTube. You're going to really like this. So should be a lot of fun. Steve, are you ready for this? I hope you are, because strap yourself down to your seat, because this is going to be some exciting stuff.
Cool. Oh, sorry. I muted the microphone. So, yeah. No, I got the microphone back on now. And yes, I am excited.
Excellent. I can tell. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on at YouTube. For those of you that don't know, there was recently a VidCon, which is a conference that's held out in California, where they talk about all things video related, and YouTube made some pretty big announcements. At least in my opinion, they're pretty big, and they're going to affect a lot of users as well as a lot of creators. And the idea behind some of these changes deal with being able to help the creators to make more money. And for those of you who don't know, YouTube views are actually way up from last year. The number of people that are making 5 figures a year on YouTube is up. The number of people making over 6 figures a year on YouTube is way up, about 45%, believe it or not. But overall, sponsorship money, advertising money is down a little bit because of some of the new rules that YouTube put in. There was, of course, a bit of a backlash from advertisers because of some of the content issues and things like that. For instance, a company that sells cookies doesn't want to end up on a video about Nazis, that kind of a thing. And so there was a lot of weird things going on, and a lot of people pulled ads out for a while, which actually
videos.
What's that?
Medical videos.
Yeah, there's
operations and stuff like that. That's another example. So,
yeah, there was a lot of advertisers who were like, I don't want my stuff ending up on some of these things, so they would just pull back their budgets completely. Now, the great thing about that is, if you do advertising, especially for local businesses, this is a huge opportunity for you to get in there, because prices are down, it's inexpensive, but the YouTube ads are still extremely effective, which is the kind of the funny part about these advertisers pulling money back. Is they were doing really well. They're pulling it back because they didn't want to be associated with certain types of videos. But they were like, look at I'm bouncing up and down here like an earthquake going on, and I'm not touching anything. The whole building is shaking.
What are they doing? Pounding the parking lot or something?
They are. They're expanding the road out there, so they're tearing out part of the parking lot, and it's been like this for a month now. But
it's kind of cool. At first I thought it was me, and I thought it was the plate in my head. Yeah. All right, anyhow.
So yeah, it's a little crazy here, but that's all right. Hopefully you can't hear the equipment too badly. But whoa, the whole building just shook like an earthquake. That's crazy.
Wow, cool.
All right. So anyway, regardless of that, we're going to continue to power through this, just like Hillary Clinton. And what we've got in YouTube, so with the advertiser money going down a little bit, YouTube wants to make sure that people are able to make money, because obviously you're not going to create content if you're not going to be able to get paid for it. If you're not going to get paid for it, it's just this vicious circle. So YouTube has actually added a couple of really cool features that are going to help creators to make more money. One of those is memberships. Now, you may remember back, I want to say maybe 5 months ago, YouTube added a new feature where people can actually pay during a live video and give you money. So that you had this super chat, and they could pay you $5 to get their comment to get in front of you while you're doing live chats and things. So they're very actively trying to improve the ways in which people can make money, and that's been pretty effective for people. But now what they've added channel memberships, and what that is people can actually pay you to be part of your channel. Now, the funny thing about this is this already existed, kind of. They've changed it, but many people have no idea that you could have a paid channel where people had to pay to watch your videos, to be a part of it. And, unfortunately, it never took off. I remember the UFC, for instance, had one. where you could pay like $5 or $9 a month, and you got access to a special channel with all sorts of stuff on there. Well, now they're kind of making that a bigger, better thing where it's right directly in your actual channel, whereas before you had to make a special channel just for your paid content. So if you had a channel for your stuff, you made a second channel, that was your paid channel, and you could link them together. But now you've actually got people can actually pay directly into your channel, and they can get special perks because of that. It's kind of similar to what Patreon does. If you're familiar with Patreon, where I want to make money for doing my podcast, so I create a Patreon account. People can pay on Patreon and get special perks out of that, and you kind of do the same thing right inside of your YouTube. So very cool little feature. The sad part. Now, if you got excited about this, I have some bad news for you. This will make most people cry. In order to use the memberships, you have to have 100,000 subscribers. Now, unfortunately, not many people have 100,000 subscribers. So you need to start really building that up. It's going to be hard to do. 100,000 is a big number. It's going to take a while to do. I know some people that have done it. It's just a matter of taking action and really wanting to be able to do that. And if you reach that 100,000, you can start to have a paid membership inside of your channel. So go out there and start getting some of those subscribers. It's going to be very cool. And some of the things that they're adding in, and I'm going to actually read this because it is a fairly new news item, and I don't want to miss anything here. So you can add, subscribers will pay the monthly fee to have access to account badges. So in other words, you can be the gold member and get a gold badge. You've got, and that's very similar to a lot of membership platforms have that nowadays too. So special emojis, member-only posts in the community tab, and exclusive content. So you can actually have videos that are only for your subscribers. So that's going to be a pretty cool cool deal. And there was a comedian named Mike Falzone. I've never heard of the guy, but he said that he was one of the people that's been able to use this for a little while now, and he has tripled his YouTube income by having these memberships. So people do pay. So that's a really interesting thing to note. So I could see some potential with this. I saw a lot of potential in their old system. I actually created a paid YouTube account, and I never used it, but I did create it. I went through the process. But I do see potential in this, especially think about this if you are somebody that, sells training. You could have your free trainings, and then you could have your paid content. Hey, pay $4.99 a month. We're going to give you the extra thises and that's, and you could have a lot of fun with that. So that's a really good thing for people. Now, the next one is even more exciting in my opinion, and that is you can now have merchandise inside your channels or on your videos. So literally you may have seen some of these already, where you go to watch a video and below it you see merchandise, t-shirts and cups and things like that. Well, as long as you have 10,000 subscribers, which is not a lot, it's still a good number, but it's not a ton. You need 10,000 subscribers for a few things on YouTube, so hopefully you're working your way towards that. But basically what you can do is you can start to add merchandise from Teespring. So you can have t-shirts and things like that available. According to the actual release, and I'll actually read it here. I never do this, but I'm going to read this because I think it makes sense to do so. So YouTube has also partnered with Teespring to offer creators a merchandising platform with more than 20 items they can customize and sell via their channel. And says it plans to expand the number of merchandising partners and availability to more creators soon. According to Teespring, one creator earned more than $1 million in profit over an 18-day period. 18-day period.
That's a lot of t-shirts, man.
That is a lot of stuff. Selling furry friends is what they were selling. So I guess it's kind of like a stuffed animal that's customized for your brand. So I could have a Ray the Video Guy customized little teddy bear furry friend there. So right now, creators must be U.S.-based channels with at least 10,000 subscribers to have access to the merchandising options through YouTube. But like they said in there, and I believe, and don't quote me on this, but this is my opinion, same thing with the channel memberships. It says their actual release in the merchandising says they will be opening it up to more people. I think they're going to do the same with memberships. Quite honestly, I don't know why you wouldn't want to open up the memberships to anybody. I don't know why you'd need to have that $100,000 100,000 subscriber limit. To me, that's kind of crazy. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It sounds like it's almost test, and they want to start.
That's what I'm assuming.
Is
it's probably a test. It probably costs them to create the stuff, and so it's just a matter of time, I think. But I'm thinking they're going to open that up to more people, just like they have with many of the other tools that they've put in there. So. And last but not least, and actually it's not even really last, this is from VidCon. The last thing they did at VidCon was a new thing called the Premieres video format. Now, don't get confused. Facebook also has a thing called Premieres videos. But this is the YouTube Premieres video format. Now, what this essentially is something that, we've already been doing with third-party software anyway, which is taking existing videos and being able to live stream them in certain ways. And what this does is this allows you to put content out that isn't live, but that appears live, or at least kind of appears live, and has all of the live features. So for instance, you could have a pre-made video, but you'll still get that live chat box on the side with the super chat, so people can pay for the content as it's going through. And it's a great opportunity to be able to get even more videos out there to a wider audience as as if it's a live video. And the cool thing about that is, again, the super chat, people can start leaving messages and paying for them and whatnot. And they make it easy for you to participate yourself. So you can still be there, because imagine this, if you're doing a live video, a real live video, just like we're doing now with the radio show, if people are commenting, you can't really look and see who's commenting, comment back. You're doing your content. But if you're presenting your content as if it's live through the live system, and people are commenting on the side, and you're not literally live, well, you can be there to answer their questions. You can comment back. You can do all sorts of things to encourage more interaction. So it's a very, very interesting new concept there, that they're actually embracing the idea of using that live platform of sorts for the different videos. So one other thing that we should talk about here, Steve, I don't know if you've done this lately, but have you done any Google searches?
Yeah.
Have you noticed anything new when you've done a Google search?
Oh, the 3-pack of videos.
The 3-pack is back with the carousel of videos. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, back in the old days, probably going back 5, 6, 7 years, I'm not even sure how far back at this point, they used to have on page 1 of Google, for almost any search really, it didn't matter what you were searching for, they used to have a 3-pack of videos just sitting there right in the middle of the page, which we used to our advantage big time, because you could easily get a video onto page 1 of Google because you were almost guaranteed that videos were going to be there. And you didn't have to actually compete with everything else. You only had to compete with other videos, and you were almost guaranteed to be on there. Well, they're kind of bringing that back now, and they've got a carousel feature. And what happens is when you do a search, you will see a 3-pack of videos that are kind of carouseled, so you can scroll through them, that you can watch. And it's based off of the videos tab. So if you've ever gone into Google, and switch the tab at the top to video, and it shows you what the videos are. That's what it's based on. So it's basically showing 3 of those videos in there. And the cool thing about this is something that YouTube introduced over the last couple of weeks as well, is actually happening on Google itself, which is if you hover over one of those videos, it autoplays right there on page 1. So it's not, you don't have to go to YouTube to start seeing what's there. It'll actually start, you hover over it and you can start seeing the video, which is a very, very cool feature. But the great thing about this is, and I don't have any real evidence of this other than what I've seen, it seems like they're putting videos on a lot more searches than they used to. It's very rare now in the searches that I've done that there's not a video carousel on there. So, Steve, you got something you want to add to this?
Yeah, all my videos are in Pro Rank Tracker, where I can show where they show where they're at. And one night they just all dropped off the map, which totally freaked me out. So I went and looked, and they were still there. And so I filed a support ticket, and they said, well, here's what they're doing. And that was it.
It's because, they can't track it as being on page 1 because it's not really on page, from a technical standpoint, it's not really on page 1. What they're doing is they're giving a view of the video tab on page 1. And so it's to the user, it's there. But from a technical behind the scenes standpoint, it's not there anymore for them to go, oh yeah, you're on page 1, because you're nowhere now. You don't exist. So it's a totally different type of thing.
But
So
they were able to figure out a way to track it,
good.
though. So, yeah.
that's good. That's exciting. I'm glad to hear that. That's a free plug for Pro Ranker. Boy, what is it? Say it again.
Pro Rank Tracker, PRT.
Pro Rank Tracker. Yes, there's so many of these things. Pro Rank Tracker and Tube Tracker Pro and whatever else. So there's so many of them out there. But so that's a good thing to know. So they're figuring that stuff out even as the things change. So exciting new stuff in the world of YouTube with that. And I love the fact that they're on page 1 almost all the time now. Like I said, not every search. There's a few that have disappeared, but that don't have videos. But one thing I did notice, Steve, is some of my videos that were page 1, but they're kind of like in the middle or whatnot. That carousel was up at the top now, so the videos were right at the top. But I have noticed that the carousel does move up and down. It's not always at the top. It's not always at the middle.
Oh.
We have seen that in multiple places. So I think it all depends on what is most important. If you're searching for a plumber, they might think, well, a video is not the most important thing. Local businesses are, so that's going to be above, and then the carousel might be lower. So there you
And
go.
the other thing that I noticed is my Vimeo videos are showing up, which they didn't before.
Really?
That's
See, I
kinda
have
interesting,
not
isn't
seen
it?
that, and that's really interesting because I always used to laugh because I don't think in my entire life I've ever seen a Vimeo video on a Google listing ever. Now,
Well, it surprised me, and the only reason I feed out my videos to Vimeo is get the backlink. That's all, and all of a sudden they're starting to show up.
oh, that's
not
interesting.
a lot, but
I
they
have
showed
not
up.
seen that, and like I said, in all these years, I don't think I've ever seen a Vimeo video on page 1. I've seen Dailymotion, I've seen Metacafe. There used to be another platform, and I can't remember what that platform was called. And it was interesting because I kind of discovered this platform. Nobody had ever heard of it. I'd never even heard of this platform, but you put your video there and you did a little bit of work, and you were guaranteed to get to page 1 from there. I mean, I don't know what this company did to be able to do that, but you could guarantee page 1 like almost instantly. It didn't last for a long time, but you could guarantee that it would get up there really quick. And I don't remember the company's name anymore, and I don't even think they're around anymore, which is kind of sad. But
Interesting. Well, the other thing that I found is all my daily motions dropped off the planet.
yeah, well, there was a change in YouTube with videos as far as like the markup and all that kind of stuff, where they claimed that like if you're using Dailymotion or you put a video on your own website, that they're not going to show up on page 1. I still see it happen though. I still see a video from a company that has their own video on their own website that does show up from time to time, but supposedly that's pretty much dead. That's not going to happen very often anymore. They've made changes to the way that works, and pretty much, the idea was that I think covertly the idea was that only YouTube videos were going to show up, but obviously if Vimeos are showing up now, that's interesting.
Surprised the heck out of
Very
me.
interesting. So that's those are the current changes at YouTube that I think people are going to be really excited about. But there's one more surprise announcement, and this is I don't know if I can call this a change for definitely not a change at YouTube, but certainly going to be a change for YouTube, I think. And that is Instagram is trying to step into the YouTube realm, and they're going to be creating their own video platform specifically to challenge YouTube, and it's called IGTV. And this is going to be potentially a big deal because obviously Instagram has become a massive social media platform that has overtaken many of the other ones that are out there. I mean, it's blown past Pinterest, it's blown past Twitter. It's just a real juggernaut. I'll be completely honest. I don't quite get Instagram. I don't quite understand it. It's people posting pictures with little blurbs underneath them, and I don't get it the way that I do with YouTube and the way that I do with Facebook. But it's a huge platform, and if they start to do something with that audience that goes after YouTube, YouTube could have some serious competition on its hands. Now, when I say serious competition, I'm talking maybe in terms of sheer numbers and views and things like that. Quite honestly, I don't think anybody's going to catch up with YouTube in the video market itself. Facebook has been trying very hard, and they've got a great platform for live videos and whatnot, but they don't have a video platform, at least not in the same sense that YouTube does, and they're not going to compete directly in that area, and I don't think Instagram will either. Instagram's going to be probably a much more basic user video type stuff, but it certainly opens up a lot of possibilities, a lot of opportunity for local businesses to have a new place to put their videos. As you know, right now, Instagram, those videos can only be 60 seconds. So unless it's a live videos can be longer, but videos you upload can only be 60 seconds. So the fact that they're going to be doing their own video platform, that's going to change things quite a bit, I think. And we'll see where that goes. It's an odd situation in that they've done their live videos before they've created their video platform. So go figure, kind of backwards. But that's right now they say that Instagram has 1 billion active monthly users.
Wow,
that's crazy. That's 1/7 of the entire planet. And for comparison, YouTube and Facebook. Well, Facebook is closer to 2 billion, and YouTube is a little over 1.5 billion. So, I mean, it's right up there. That's quite a big number. It's a very exciting thing to see, and I look forward to see what they put together with this. But that's the new IG for Instagram TV platform. Cool. We'll see what happens with it. Yeah. So there you go. That's my state of the YouTube address, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed learning some of these new things. Obviously, these are all brand new things. Nobody's had a chance to really play with them too much yet, but we wanted to talk about them so that you can understand what's coming, what's here now, and what you need to build for. Because again, 100,000 subscribers in order to start using at the very least to use part of this, but 10,000 to start doing the premieres and 10,000 to start doing the merchandise. But very interesting stuff going on at YouTube. It's making a big comeback, as they say.
Well, and on the membership thing, I agree with you. I think they'll drop that at some point, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because they've it's been the same thing with a lot of the YouTube stuff. They usually start high and then they slowly build it down. Same thing with Facebook. Facebook started doing their live platform to only certain people, and then they added stuff later. So
I'm like a cat following the dot. If you're watching the Facebook, yeah.
I didn't realize you could actually see that when I was moving my mouse around there. So.
I could. Now, one thing I've noticed, just from, for what it's worth, a lot of the entertainment videos I watch on YouTube, they got at least 100,000 subscribers. So,
absolutely. And that's who they're going after. They want to get those main people that are the lifeblood of YouTube. Quite honestly, if you think about it, some of these guys, PewDiePie. I love that name, by the way. PewDiePie.
Is he back?
I'm sure he's back. I don't think he ever really was gone, but
okay.
Guys like that, they get a bigger audience than the top TV shows.
Oh yeah,
on network TV. If a network TV show gets 18 to 20 million people watching on an episode, that's considered huge. And then you turn around and you see, some of these guys on YouTube that are getting much larger audiences than that, and and they're not getting paid nearly as much as the people doing those TV shows. So it's about time they did this, and I'm really excited about the idea of doing the merchandise. YouTube has kind of played around and threatened doing merchandise for ages, and it never seems to really pan out. But now it looks like they're going to be doing it at big time, and I'm certainly going to have to head over to Teespring and start putting some things together.
You did a Teespring promotion a couple of years ago where you did okay, didn't you?
Yeah, no, we've done a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, okay,
in the past.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, that's how I got banned from Facebook advertising. So.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. They decided that what we were doing was no longer allowed, and so instead of just not letting me run the ads, they banned my whole account.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Go figure.
That rings a bell. Well, good show, Ray, and it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper on the Show podcast network, and today's show made possible by
freevideoeditor.co. If you like to create videos, but you don't want to spend all those high prices on video editors, but you need those professional tools, well, head on over to freevideoeditor.co, download the Shotcut video editor and all of the goodies that we have to go along with it completely for free, and start editing today. All of this done at freevideoeditor.co, and leave off the last M for, and once again, we don't have an M word on here.
Oh, no.
For,
madness.
For May. Leave off
May
the last M for
2018.
May. Or music. Music just came on the screen.
Music.
freevideoeditor.co. And that's all we have time for, folks.
Yep, gotta go. Hit the music.
All right, let's hit that funky music.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His
By the way, I
skill is
removed
where
Satan
it's
from my
at.
machine.
Even if he's a little fat, he's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.